already just looking to try and push straight into mid. It's going to be a brawl within the first few seconds, and already CNED Zeke have put themselves in that advantage. We expected this one to be a fist fight, a brawl throughout. We know that Acend like to take teams on that individual skill. For now, though, we're going to see them split. Yeah, Morris has managed to come in from behind. The shot's connecting and actually drops the spike. Although they've been isolated by the Sage Wall, this now becomes a little bit more awkward for the side of Acend. And they are in a 3 versus 2.
The fact that he's playing a Killjoy means that he might be going on those lurks a bit more. He usually plays the duelist and is playing the tempo like a duelist despite being on a very different age. And MW0 has the recon that just coming online, has been sort of playing in that kitchen position. Burris might have got more than he bargained for, and he still makes it work.
Of that Killjoy utility, and you can see the rest of the team already running on the rotation.
Oh, Morris maybe wasn't expected to get spotted by that recon that considering, and now CNED up on rafters, just seeing if he can catch any players. Look at this movement though from Heat, he's just jumped onto the spot. Bone Cold at least catches him, and MW can take out CNED at this point. Starzone now trying to up this tempo. The trades are good.
No, incredibly good. It's left just onto Bone Cold, out and not on the other side from Bone Cold, but the whole team is now here ready and waiting.
Yeah, there's no flanks around. That's exactly what Keyless is checking, but now he might actually go on a bit of a lurk. He's realized how much space is here, and Zeke, the rest of his team are retreating, but he's able to hold on. These layers are so important, so the fact that Zeke has been dying first for the majority of the rounds, now we start to see him do exactly what you want to see from Arena. The amount of players that kept over on the A site just from him now. Everybody else has rotated away. Vivo KEYD don't want to take that risk, and they can't because Zeke is still going to push. Morris does eventually take him down.
Yeah, but he's wasted enough time. The rest of the team set up ready and waiting. CNED's operator will put a second in the grave, and well, this round in itself is looking grave. A cleanup for Acend. Finally, they make it onto the board. Drone just to make sure his position wasn't revealed, and as said, the rotation so far from Vivo KEYD has been spot on. They've got pretty much every player ready and waiting, but Zeke's Empress allows him to not only find that opener, heal up, and escape, and CNED has just popped one more. Acend starting to roll into this A site, finding every single kill, and they're even looking to potentially try and hunt down the remainder.
That's
already.
Not a bad idea.
Look at the runaround. Like, Bone Cold's just like, right, if they're running away, I'm going to find them.
Oh, that's a nice little peek from Zeke. Like, he's still holding on, not likely to use that Blade Storm just for an eco when it comes up. Had to buy up that operator again. So saving these guns is important. So Acend are doing well here. He can just keep chipping away. It's not like Acend have been winning streaks of rounds in a row. Their economy is going to be okay, but not ideal. One. So CNED versus Heat is going to be interesting in various ways other than who gets the most killing kills.
The timing here is going to be everything. They didn't spot out Heat, and he's already taken off 2 heads. Not the start that they were looking for. He waited for his moment and found it perfectly. Still a good chance here, though, for an afterplant, but actually, straight away, we're going to see the Hunter's Fury just patiently waiting to see if he attempts another. Tagged him, but Bone Cold will survive. This should allow him to run. He knows, just connecting everything, put into his crosshair, and you can see the confidence. He's running straight in. He spots the man at the back, but Bone Cold takes him down. Still a 2 versus 4 scenario. Some weaker weapons on the remaining players, so there is still quite a lot to do. And Bone Cold, he might catch a player with the outro now. A free kill for him at least, but his teammates being pressured. Killers needs to stay alive, and actually his pit's about to drop. Players low on the other side, a chance to try and clear them up, but it will be Mures to put him in the ground. Quick push through mid, wall to isolate. 3 players actually looking in this direction, though. A good opportunity for Morris, but he's taken down almost instantly. Still, though, a couple of other defenders, and along with Bone Cold's Hunter's Fury, this execution looking a lot better. They need a response, and they need it soon. And while Heat, this time, I don't think there's a hero to be found.
That Starzone, to the point he's actually just staying in that spot. Defo likes to do it a little bit. Popped up onto the high ground. Bone Cold with a recon that's going to see if any players come through on rafters, and it's just been watched keenly. This is a really nice post plan from Acend, but Vivo KEYD still in it, dedicating the res as well. It's just Murray's left.
Oh, CNED's going to walk into him. Turns it into a 1v2 scenario. He's getting smashed with utility, but doesn't take much damage from it. The tap, and he actually gets the conversion! This man moves on to the Killjoy and finds every single headshot along the way.
With time being relatively low now for Acend, that might be the play for Murray. Just get the lockdown, and then it's awkward, especially now that these utilities be dedicated and the plant's going down.
Yeah, the worry for me is that that last retake only worked because of a clutch. Now, sure, this is a completely different scenario, but Acend have done well for the most part in these scenarios. The lurk play as well from Zeke is already going to shut down one, and they expected him to leave. Instead, Starzone sticks around! gonna pop the head of 3 and leave just one man standing. He doesn't care that he's been detected. Okay. Okay, it doesn't matter. He gets the first one, but he's got 4 more to find, and Zeke is lurking behind. So they've tried to lock down that side of the map, and on the other side, the Viper's pit ends up actually just being their own teammate. That is an interesting pit, though.
Yeah, and Zeke actually leaving the operator on the ground, so he can switch and swap if he wants. And I like what Acend was doing. He got that initial kill.
Pit on the other side of the map. And in reality, the attackers are pushing B long. So there is no information whatsoever. You can see Joe's just started like calling to his team. They're actually on B. You've gone A. They're planting here. I'm on my own. Is he about to get shot in the back? He is. Just had no idea. They've been completely confused, bamboozled by Acend, and it leaves just 2 players left, Ryan, to try and bring back a round where I'm sure they just want it to end.
Yeah, and even the fact that MW0 had to use an owl drone from so far out to clear kitchen. Now that's the area that KEYD is in. Vixen in a 1 versus 5. I love that Acend used that time.
Oh no, that's heartbreaking.
Just go, maybe the site's completely open, because usually you see that toxic screen go up to try and retain the site. Zeke thought he was big braining, but Heat there just on the high ground catches him out on that crossfire. Lovely play, but that utility's already set up from Acend. They are going to have to meander over. And with Morris still alive, I wonder how much he's lurking, because right now he's just planted face first into Ascend's sightline.
Oh, this is aggressive already. They're going to get things back into a more even scenario, and it has to be the fallback of the opposing Jet and Heat. They haven't even managed to get themselves the spike down. This is a retake before they've even got the plant. Acend just come running through, and it's left all on to Vixen. Easy B plant, because the rest of the players are currently looking to try and challenge into mid.
It's scary, though. You don't really have that Aldrin. It was used already from MW. You might not even had the money to get it at this point. If you're looking at Heat, he's only got 25 armor, so even though this is a full buy, only just in some of these cases. With the spike going down, there's no lurks, there's no cute plays from Acend, even though you are taking the attention for Vivo KEYD, that are kind of watching behind him a little bit. Yeah, Zhao is playing very close.
Ooh, I'm wondering if they're going to try and counter all this. Starzo has his own that he might just look to try and peek out. They're going to already clear out 1, but with the rifles in hand, they should just look to spam it through, and the cleanup doesn't take too long whatsoever.
Heat making those entrances, and the playoff from that from Vivo KEYD has been pretty impressive so far.
I like the attempt, but the peekaboo spot out from Zeke hasn't worked whatsoever, and there's a push coming straight in onto the side. They're just looking to try and run this one straight through. Murray's leading the charge, and he's managed to get quite far. I don't know if they've realized that he's got all the way through, and Bone Cold's going to be the one to catch a bullet for it. Now Killers is in a horrible spot. Either has to face the wrath of the full team, or try and catch them on the way, and he does exceptionally well. Starzo even going to wall up over the top, try and battle them, but he takes the brunt of the damage. A 2 versus 2 scenario, in the lurk coming through from Heat is not going to be expected at all. It's left onto Starzo to try and bring this one back, and he gets nothing. Heat with 3 kills. Actually, they're going to make this very awkward for him. Now, he's got to try and go back in just to keep the integrity of the Viper's pit.
Look at Joe.
Then he has to try and back out. So this is becoming quite a problem. Zeke as well popping the Empress as they look to try and push through, and Killers has actually been trapped, but it almost works as a bit of a bait. If they tried to push him down, there were plenty of players ready and waiting. Even still, though, it is going to be the plant come through, and he manages to get the opener.
The Viper's pit being down now is not really too much of an issue. The lurk was attempted from Joe, but in fact moved away. I think he was caught by the turret setup in the end from Morris, and now the Hunter's Fury coming through, trying to see if he can catch anybody as another Viper's pit's dedicated on the defense, the attack this side even. It's a bit of a mess, but Ascend are coming out.
Yeah, they're doing well from this, but that's just a triple, a quad spray down from MW0.
He didn't even use the recon dart.
What is the response here? MW0 is already going to tag him at the back, so he's going to be isolated. But Starzo, he's managed to thread Danito. He gets nothing, though. The turnaround from Joe. We mentioned that fragging ability. That might be the most important kill of the round. Still, though, Bone Cold trying to do something in response. He's actually getting shot back, but he gets the kill onto Vixen anyway, turning it into an advantageous position, but they've still got plenty to isolate. And as we've mentioned already, these afterplants thus far have been strong. This kill might be everything. I don't think he actually spotted the gun barrel pointing through. He's going to catch him with a dart out. A teammate even helps as well. It's left on to Acend and Zeke. And we'll make that just Zeke. A 1 versus 2 scenario. The time already ticking so far, and he's just going to have to save his gun. See what they can do. It is, again, straight after the pause, straight after their opponents try and adapt. Vivo KEYD pick up the pace. They're going running straight in towards this site. Zeke's already dead, and it's Murray's again. 2 kills to open. Starzo, at least, is able to respond. But the orbs already being retrieved. Maybe trying to get a little bit closer to that res. Joe is going to get himself another. Still quite far away from bringing a player back, but they might not need it at this point. CNED has found one, but at a cost of a lot of HP. There is, however, a res on the other side. Acend would need to try and find a player here, and Bone Cold has been brought back, putting them in an advantageous spot. Killers has found another, making this one look more than possible, but he still stands alongside MW0. These two have been unbelievable thus far, but now it's just on to one. It looks like an impossible scenario. 10 HP to try and kill off two. The shock dart isn't really going to do anything. Bone Cold tag, but it doesn't matter. It will be Acend to live to fight another day. And Vivo KEYD.
To get information, it makes sort of re-aggressing onto this A site more difficult. But Zeke is still just trying to face. He's been doing it a little bit, punished mostly, but I do like this angle. Joe being able to wall it up, there's not really going to be too much seen. And Vivo KEYD at this point, not over-aggressing, it's just straightforward post-plant, sit back, killjoy lockdowns, creating a lot of different space, and a resurrect if they need it.
And on the other side of things, sure, there's a couple of ults that are not far away, the Blade Storm. Also the Empress, just one kill needed to get either of those online. But they've got a lot still to do. Already getting spotting out. They've got this retake wall available. CNED is going to get two already. Looking like this is possible, but Vixen fighting. Looking to try and spray them down. It's left all onto Heat. The operator in hand. He's been spotted, but what is that flick? He's found himself one. Just trying to bait Zeke off the defuse, and he's already done it. Just leaving it down to this last player. A whiff spot, but he's buying time. And Zeke is just trying to stick it. He is going to close it out in the exact fashion we've seen from Vivo KEYD throughout this map. It will be the Brazilians to put the first number on the board again. Is heavily favored for Acend. This is their choice for a very good reason. But can Vivo KEYD truly pull off the upset?
And it's whether Joe can sort of keep up to pace with the Viper. So far, he's under a lot of pressure. Starkso is there to try and chase it up, and MW0 not phased by this at all. Knows that the spike's been planted relatively close to him, wanting to use this attacker's toxic screen to his advantage. But there's a couple of bait plays out, and Frenzy wins against Starzo, who was already pretty low health, to be fair.
They've gone for this almost old school original strat of just getting yourselves that afterplant out through the bathrooms, but MW0 just looking to fight through. CNED will trade. You've got the paint shell of Zeke making things more awkward. They've still got three players standing. They've used the utility that they had, but realistically at this point it becomes so awkward for the remaining players. Zeke with another, leaving it all onto Heat to try and pick them all off. Spot. This might just be to leave a snake in the grass. I think it's been expected, it's been spotted, and Heat is not going to fall for it.
Quite rightly, Keyless. I think this was one of the reasons why we saw Acend 13-0 in Gambit. It's just that Keyless was able to get so many nice lurks, the utility posted towards the A site. He isn't falling for it. There's some Astro utility coming out just to break this execute from Acend. The Resurrect dedicated, and stars are going down. It's just farming up for Heat and MW0, and it's as clean as you can really get. That's unfortunate, really. I'm seeing it with the start. I like this default, though. Things are slowing down. Now Keyless, again, like, knowing that there's going to be an element of bait out on the side, and Starzo using that dissipate nicely, and that was a dissipate from the side of Vivo KEYD as well.
Yeah, I don't think that Murray's expected that to disappear in front of his eyes. I don't think he expected there to be other players there, and now MW0 is the only one standing within this site, hoping to try and blind someone with the flash. Instead, it is Starzo with his triple, leaving just Joe.
We'll have to see what sticks.
I think this is about to become very difficult already. Straight away, Zeke just clearing out this hookah control. We see how strong that raise can be. I think we've heard it from Boaster in the past. He doesn't like to see this map without a raise on it, and it's just getting worse. They're just pounding ultimates into the site. Nice shot from Heat, though. And the quick rotation from the remaining players could make things a little bit awkward. Starzo has spotted out Murray's, but there's going to be a swing. There's going to be a peek back in.
Nice
and
trade.
Joe has managed to find another. And they're slowly being closed in from behind. Now the spike is going to be retrieved. Joe is just being tagged down. He's going to have to try and swing out of that one, but he manages to escape, still keeping himself alive.
Meaning, Vixen now is starting to crunch. Maybe Zeke is holding on. He's doing relatively well in comparison, and now, and it's a 2v1 situation for Acend, and he is slowly picking up a gun.
It's just to try and keep it clean.
Two smokes
and
as well.
And it's come down into a 1 versus 2 scenario. A chance to isolate the Jawber. Zeke is just hitting everything. It's going to be a tough retake, though. If your whole team is trying to make a push through elbow, it's going to leave you with some isolated Jaw. And CNED, there's a little bit of a ledge. he can just swing out. This might just be the murder of every single member. But it's watched. He is going to connect the shot. It's left to Zeke and BoneCold to try and hold on here. The Molotov falls, but it's actually only going to deny one. He's managed to find a second. It's already halfway tick, trying to do it all. And the timing, is it going to be enough? Just trying to get the defuse through, and it's not. That Molotov just won them the round. Well, it has taken a long time to get this Viper ultimate online. It's been utilized almost instantly, but again, we're just going to see this run through almost instantly. I thought that was going to be the kill, but in fact, it's Heat that goes down. They will retain this extra control, but Zeke is just on fire. Again, he's going to just multi-frag them out of the round. This was a purchase from Vivo KEYD. They had an operator in this round.
But considering this is such a high-line defense from Vivo KEYD just because of these guns, it's really awkward to try and break through, and it's still having some modicum of success.
They managed to garner at least a rifle. Rez going to come through on either side, but there's also the orbital strike just to make it that little bit worse. He has found another. This round looking at least a little bit better, and there's still one man waiting. Vixen. He's got to try and stop them here. A kill is necessary, and actually BoneCold doesn't have his gun out. He's going to be executed as he looks to try and run around the corner. Vivo KEYD have read this one excellently, but they need to make sure they convert it. CNED, the spike in hand, a nice hit from Heat as well, and leaving just that one man standing. He hasn't had to be the hero in any of these rounds so far, but this, surely impossible. 20 seconds, 4 players to find.
You're just keeping him locked in. If he can try and open up this site a little more, it'd be nice. But he knows that there's going to be a wrap round in that case. He's trying to pick up the spike. He's just been delayed perfectly. Not a bad anti-eco. This is, again, just like that no information of Vivo KEYD have, like already using that gravity well.
They both use Seekers.
Yeah. It was just very early utility coming out of Vixen. He has no clue. They're still going to try and fight it. And Morris, well, he's harder to move. Doesn't really have any more slow orbs. He's just going to try and stand and face and forces the teleport over from Vivo KEYD.
Oh, better from Joe. He's managed to isolate a kill, keeping himself alive, and Zeke hasn't actually been able to spot him, surviving at least for the moment, just hiding behind that utility, and the Viper finally comes online. 2 impactful kills that could make the difference to get them their 3rd round onto the board. Lots of utility. Actually, Zened's going to be pulled, but still manages to get himself the bump. They're going to run it all the way back, but they don't know that the players are there on the cross. This has gone from a retake A to a retake B in a matter of seconds, and actually MW Zera has caught Killers as he attempts to rotate. It's a bold strategy. I'm not sure if it was intended, because sending the spike through first definitely had its risks, but it has put them in an excellent spot.
Look where MW Zera is as well. Like, he's keeping Starzo in an awkward position, but knows that he needs to move away. He needs to help out his team in his post plan. And BoneCold, bit of parkour to help him get up onto the high ground. The flash is a bit awkwardly timed, makes it awkward.
What?
Vixen traded out from Zeke, and Starzo now holding onto the site. MW0 blocked off by this wall. I think he can get around it though.
What? Well, yeah, he might have to at this point, because they're just sticking the defusal, holding it all the way, and no one gets there in time. Acend, it looked like they were done after that rotation came back to be all the players in the right place at the right time.
Got a little bit of Astro utility to force him out, but considering this is not really all that much like the utility being forced up, it means that Astro util is so important. Another bit going to be used, and now Starzo pushing through. This is what you want to see, just using our utility to peek out, catch a kill, and dismiss. And considering Vivo KEYD are constantly pushing through a shot with no split, they don't really have a leg to stand on, even if this spike does get planted.
They're looking to try and hold them in position as they wrap back around already. Starzo finding another into the round. He's got BoneCold alongside him, but the trades are coming back. It's left on to Heat again. A few opportunities in the clutch, hoping to try and bait someone out into swinging, but they know they have the advantage at this point. Is he going to try and sneak his way through to B?
30 seconds
He does have time. He could take the teleporter. I don't think anybody will be able to beat him there, but I think he wants a duel first. He wants to try and isolate one of these players, try and stop them from swinging behind him, but while he's doing all of this, BoneCold is slowly making his way through, and these baits are just not working whatsoever. Zeke just holding the line. Although he's been spotted, he has no idea that BoneCold is in from behind.
Ecos or anti-ecos were particularly strong from Masters. They're going to have to really make it work now if they want to put Acend under that pressure. But this is just experience winning out. A little bit manic, but that's what you kind of expect from both these teams at this point.
taking the advantage. CNED actually peeks back in off the edge of the smoke. Now we have seen at least a trade back and forth, but the fact is the spike is down on the other side of the map, so this attack currently coming in onto A is almost just to try and clear things out a little bit in heat. He was so clinical in the last map. Instead, he's now falling to CNED a chance for the ace, but I feel like Joe's just gonna burn Bone Cold with another Molotov kill. We've seen a few of those. Optimism, Ryan, you know what? It's not what I'm used to in a duo.
I wonder why.
CNED getting pressured. He's just gone past.
Realize as well, like being able to just wrap around like this because there's been zero showers pressure coming in for Vivo KEYD. They just 5-step through one part and really Acend are ready to just smash this one to bed.
He's just running in behind them, not even trying to slow down. He does a lot of damage but doesn't take the kills, but even still, he's bought some extra time. The shotgun doing damage, but the trade's coming back thick and fast, and it's left onto Joe. He's being naded into oblivion. There is no chance at survival, and it will be that defusal. The map is done. Acend have dominated Vivo KEYD, and we will be heading into Breeze. Utility cycling of Zeke. Like, he's going for the early information to see where everyone is. And already, Mira's tagged desperately low. Starzo, we're seeing him on the Viper. We didn't even really mention that, but that is not something we expected to see coming into this series. A switch up for quite a few different agents as the Sky goes missing on their side. And, well, we know that Vivo KEYD like this more puggy style. These individual players looking to try and pop off, and this time it's Joe finding a couple, but again, it always seems to swing back into these 2 versus 2. The overhealed Mura is in a pretty good spot to try and find something here. Slightly whipped, but he gets one anyway. And now it's left onto those in-game leaders, facing off for who has the biggest brain, who can bring home this round. And Joe, he's in the spot to hold it, and he's going to find the headshot to close. 3 kills in the pistol.
Just to be clear, we're joking. CNED
okay.
isn't. I like this angle. It's just in front of where that layer's coming in from Murray. Is a good read
so
on
close,
how they
he's going to get him in the end. Just to spam through. Obviously, this is the bonus round for Vivo KEYD, but CNED has had enough of his opponents coming back. He's back on his jet, and he is slaughtering them. Only Vixen can put him in the grave. And while eventually Bone Cold is going to close out the round.
An important map. We sort of highlighted that as we were going into the half-time with the desk. Is just Breeze is going to be pivotal to whatever teams want to do well in this tournament. And CNED, well, he's happy to keep on farming through.
CNED has just put them in the ground again. 4K in the last round, looking to at least try and match up into this one. He has finally been able to shut him out, but there's only 20 seconds left. It's already turned into a save, and you can see Killer is looking to try and come in on the flank. They want to remove this operator from Heat's hands. The fact Synergy's not far off getting his own ultimate, it probably isn't the best gun to have.
It's awkward, though, because they're both towards mid and B. So retaking with 2 hops, it was already hard enough with 1 at this point. I think another big thing is going to be Vixen surviving. It's a nice toxic screen. It's very default with what you expect, but it means that utility has to be sort of thrown out. They really wanted to put Murray's under pressure. And it's even the operator that gets the kill in the end. Nice shock dart, snakebite combination, and the fragment catching him on the get-go, but still, Vivo KEYD are holding on.
Zeke trades things back, though. Both players isolated within the cave. They need to try and find a way to push out, and instead, Zeke's looking to push in. He's got Bone Cold spamming through, and although MW0, he has a chance here! He's gonna get all 3! Again, this man and the multi-frags will pull through the Red Bull clutch. Barrier, and actually, Murs again. He's just going walking in. They're trying to sell this as if it's an identical take. That's the plan. Go moving in directly through. And although Killers will look at the rotation, they've already pulled players away and left it. I was going to say just onto CNED, but CNED's there.
Yeah, Kilos does well to get the kill. Takes a peek as well with all of that utility being thrown through. Gets that information, but now it's a nice double bait. Starzo looks away at the worst possible time when it comes to that double doors control, and because of that, Bone Cold isn't really expecting somebody to be right in his face. Keyless is on this site, he's got a lot to deal with.
Doesn't get anything for it. CNED has at least dropped the Clutch King from the last, and Starzo
in the game.
Trying to put through a little bit of utility to deny them. Hasn't actually worked out. But they've cleared a lot of these close angles. This round definitely isn't done, and by the looks of it, it's going to be the cave after plant that's set up now for that attacking side. A single snakebite remains if they want to attempt it. Realistically, Starzo can actually just walk past this utility. Instead, he decides to shoot it, use that Viper's Pit, and they're not going to kill him off before it pops. This makes things a little bit awkward, but with Heat close up, he might be able to just kill them off before they go for any sort of defusal. They don't expect him to be this close, and it's left onto ACENT. First shot landed, but the time is ticking, and it doesn't seem like there's any chance in hell he'll be able to hold on this time. That is safer than maybe it is.
Yeah, Starzo is also such an aggressive fighting position. Again, just a Poison Cloud in that spot. I mean, it works. It catches Vixen on the way out. Not really an angle that you expect a Viper to be playing from. It's not quite ratty. It's out in the open, and Starzo, that's the kind of, even from his personality, he's that good at it. Now it's just a full rotation coming in, then the null command. Now suppressing abilities, but it's not really affecting Joe, and on that Cypher, he can maybe face a little bit more.
Oh, this is starting to fall apart, but Zeke finally steps up to the plate. He is still landing shots, though. Lightning fast reactions, putting this into a 2 versus 2. 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
Got to try and clear out Zeke, and whoa, the Blaze Storm going to be popped. They want to try and isolate this duel. The timing going to be everything, and Heat lands the shot even while slightly blind.
Bone cold again.
It is left into this 1v2, but they are planting in the spot for Heat to just hold the angle. To clear this out is going to be incredibly difficult, and MW0, I think, has already spotted him, just trying to bait him in, maybe not expecting anybody to just be holding this cross. He gets the information, and the tag through, but he, again, connects.
So far in the defense, it's left a lot to be desired.
Oh, the pace change. They want to go walking straight into CNED's lair. The operator in hand already, dropping one. Oh, they've actually got the Hunter's Fury trying to do some damage, but not really finding anything from it. It's at least forced them back, but as said, I think these mid-rounds have looked a lot better on this map in particular from Vivo KEYD. They're going to slow it down, and there is a fairly aggressive spot from Killers that they do have to watch out for. He'll have heard the footsteps. The flash is solid, and Heat is gone.
Keeler's just holding on to this column position. Toxic Screen actually being used to more control at A site. Really, the retake positions that Acend have been in have been such down to a player disadvantage that it's not really useful to hold on to those toxic screens for those moments. So I do like the fact that Starzo is changing it up a little more. Utility in various places, more anchoring towards A. And that's just because CNED is getting so much success with this operator. He can make it fall with the...
Come on!
Recheck that whole position though. They have left it for a while, and good timing at least, as soon as that toxic screen comes through. And look at this one as well, that's set up from Starzo, allows him to play a bit more deeper.
Maybe one they won't be expecting to play against. Managed to find the tag onto Zeke, but he won't go down. However, Bone Cold has fallen, and because of that, we might actually see a switch up. Heat has found a pick on the other side as well, leaving
30 seconds
just a
left.
few players remaining. Not in the worst of spot, but they're going to be pincered in. CNED can only land one, and Zeke just trying to survive. They have been isolated one by one from the side of Vivo KEYD. A solid attacker side round. And what are the chances here for Killers? Completely out of position. A rotation versus a Viper's Pit, and 4 players waiting.
And we were saying, like in the other series, the round 12, Acend were the ones that were bringing out little curveballs. That's the first time that we've really seen Vivo KEYD presence in mid, getting that kill. And again, the timing to go through. This is now interesting. It's not done and dusted on the side of Acend. We'll have to see this one. I said that this pistol's going to be important, and it certainly was going to be for Zeke. He's almost doubled the kills that he's had in the server just off this pistol alone in the first 7 seconds. Now that Util is going to be fired in onto B, it was a site that was held loosely for Vivo KEYD. And just as we were sort of saying, mid-control on the attack for Vivo KEYD, they didn't really go elbow at all on the attack, but that's where they went instantly on the defense.
Maybe a hard read, but whatever it is, it still worked out for Acend. The timing for MW0, though, couldn't have been any better. He's brought things back into a 3v3 and looks to move over to his teammates. The peek from CNED is also going to be dropped. Joe, he was quiet individually, but he's now coming up big for his squad once again. It's left on to Zeke. I believe he might even have to ace it just to take this one home, and it is not happening. A 3 versus 4 to a 3 versus 0.
Tunnel position on B though, and the 0 point is about to come online for Zeke. He's not that far away from having a null command, to be fair, but all of these players pushing for double door. Hold it to see if they can catch a player on switch. I like the idea from Vixen. Just peek out, try and catch him whilst they're not looking, but it's a bit more tight play from Bone Cold.
Oh, if you say that, he's about to lose his life. Well, eventually, Killers will be there with the trade, but this round is still not over. A 2 versus 3. any more kills than this, and
Spike planted.
it's far more costly than they would have liked, and almost caught switching to the rifle, but hey, the rifle's been collected. Still having a couple of orbs available to actually heal and dismiss. Mures could take this one into his own hands. Now the afterplant looking decent already. Utility not going to play a part in this one really for the side of Acend. It's more just those individual battles, the team play, the synergy, the crossfires, and while just waiting on the other side, it should have been an easy kill. Eventually will come through. Running into the site, removing the dash, but he just managed to reposition just off the edge of it. Still going to be caught and actually just take Zeke down straight away, of course. Opportunity to get rest, but never mind. Already the headshot coming through. Joe desperately wanting to add to his kill tally as he's just spamming through, and eventually they will kill him off. Nothing more for Zeke in this round, but he might have done enough trying to spot people early on the edge with the dismiss. But they have to watch out. There's a flank coming in. Killers could end this round in its tracks, but they're getting aggressive enough that they might be able to kill a few of the players before they come through. Vixen will land the shot as they wrap back around and leave this now onto just 2 players. The flanker, but more importantly, Acend. He's the one with the angle onto the spike, and he gets absolutely nothing. Just 1 player down, leaving it all onto Killers. He finds the burn, but he cannot close out Mures. That's Acend having something at least a little bit extra, but hiding in this corner is not going to be checked. It's a freebie, and now he can just back away, wary just in case someone's going to try and peek up and trade him out, but he'll escape before anyone will be able to respond.
It was also just a 50-50 decision, making a recon that was in the hands of Bone Cold to try and clear him, but they decided against it. Like, in these scenarios, they're not sure what they want to do. Protocols have been better, and now Mures can sort of go to town.
Have to be a 7-round streak for Acend. Otherwise, we are going to see the Brazilian team head into that upper bracket match.
And across, like Vivo, KEYD in this series, the mechanical skill is there, the firepower, we knew it would be. But just the team play, just the ideas, the defaults, the executes, the post plans, everything is a lot sharper. Now this looks like a Brazilian super team.
Yeah, this is what we've been waiting for, and while Starzo, there's no escape. Every gun removed.
Topic of discussion probably coming up a bit earlier than Acend were expected. Joe is under a lot of pressure. I think Acend have it most. Joe is actually not afraid at all. He's got Acend with the plan. I think Acend's only had 2 or 3 kills on this attacking side so far.
It may not matter. It's already going to be the clear out heat going in, but it's Bone Cold who's bringing things back. 3 kills to save them. Keep them in this map at least as Killers. Drops Vixen. It's left onto this new man on the block, the Loney that is quickly making a name for himself, but not in this round. Zeke burst into this A side, but actually it's only Zeke. Everybody else just waiting back behind, looking to try and push in alongside him. The flash is good, and he eventually, it's a labored spray, but he gets the kill nonetheless. The spike yet to cross. So still not directly committed, but with 2 players already in, you'd expect them to make their way through, just waiting for the screen to be recharged. But look at this wraparound through mid.
Spike planted.
He also still have a bit of utility to throw in to try and catch them off. Mures is under a bit of spray. Vixen trading up Acend. So again, it's this high line. Keyless managing to slip through. You need these kind of moments.
Acend's probably about to just launch himself straight into the site and look to put the pressure onto Joe, and he's already gone. So much utility just forcing them back, although there is a trade. The Hunter's Fury actually finding a couple attacks here and there. He has managed to get another one, and this leaves Zeke isolated on the site. The remaining couple of players just trying to hold from the backlines. The wraparound from Bone Cold could be absolutely everything.
Yeah, that elbow control is going to be so important, but they really need to help out Zeke in this situation. There's an important kill for Bone Cold. Zeke is still holding on, but he is putting up the pressure. He's starting to try and cook the KO alive, but Mures is actually getting behind.
Zeke. One more, a 2 versus 2 scenario, and they have to clear this man from the flank. It's left all on to Zeke to try and close this one out, but it isn't going to be happening. It is Vivo KEYD that head through into the upper bracket, and Acend have already faltered in this tournament. They had a rough time when they came to Berlin for the first time, and it looks like they're having a rough one again. But on the other side of things, the Brazilians